I was living a second life in a world different from the one I had known for the first 20 years. Reincarnated with memories from my original life, I often noticed how the sensibilities of this new world deviated from what I had grown accustomed to. Much of what I experienced felt familiar. I would watch television shows and see images that mirrored my past. When a female singer accidentally ripped her shirt live on air, I thought, that must have been quite the broadcast accident. A news story about a woman secretly filming in a men's bathhouse left me pondering the strange quirks of female criminals. In kindergarten, I watched as girls pulled down boys' pants, giggling, while the embarrassed boys burst into tears. Childhood innocence, I figured. Having lived in Korea for 2 decades before my reincarnation, adapting to this new life was more challenging than I expected. I struggled especially with the existence of hunters, a concept completely foreign to my original life. Today, the Korean government held a ceremony for hunter Kong Eun-young, who captured 500 high-ranking monsters, announced the news anchor. The words felt surreal, as if I were the unwitting star of my own Truman Show. As I grew, I noticed the world's peculiar dynamics. Girls were often more assertive, and boys shy. Even in this new landscape, I couldn't shake the conventional notions deeply embedded in my mind. The revelation of hunters, monsters, dungeons, and guilds took nearly a decade to accept fully. But disbelief faded, especially after my 10th birthday, when an event shattered my remaining doubts. Quaya, a monster. The monster has escaped. Help, Mom, quickly. Report to the Hunter Guild. Hurry. On June 15, 2065, I was out for a walk with my parents at a children's park. The world shifted in an instant. Tae-kyung, run away. Hurry, my mother screamed. But it was too late. I stood frozen, watching as a creature, neither lizard nor iguana, devoured my parents before my eyes. I was left to grapple with the horrifying scene, powerless and alone. A retired hunter finally dealt with the monster, but the damage was irreversible. My parents were gone, leaving me an orphan on that fateful day. Even as I mourned, I accepted the harsh reality of my situation. The loss would resonate through my life, but I knew I had to navigate this world alone. I had witnessed countless stories of relatives preying on orphans for their inheritance, and I wasn't going to fall victim to that fate. Using the wisdom from my past life, I took immediate action. I refused offers of help from distant relatives, sensing their insincerity. Instead, I turned to the established systems in this world, the police, social services, and eventually, a trusted figure from my childhood. I knocked on the door of my childhood friend, Kong Hyun's home. Her mother answered, and the moment she saw me, her face transformed with genuine pity. Tae-kyung, are you eating well? She asked, concern etched in her features. I'm managing, I replied, masking the turmoil within me. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner. She squeezed my hand, her empathy palpable. It's okay. I know it must be tough. After sharing my plight, Hyun's mother agreed to be my temporary guardian. With her help, I navigated the intricacies of insurance claims and parental assets. It was a bittersweet victory, knowing I had to leverage her compassion to secure my future. As days turned into weeks, I cultivated a dream. I vowed to become a hunter myself, to prevent others from enduring the same pain I had felt. Fast forward to June 2077, and I found myself at a crossroads. At 22, I lay in my bed, reflecting on the harsh realities of becoming a hunter. I had dedicated myself to this path since childhood, even choosing Chungwon Middle School, renowned for its hunter training, despite the doubts of my aunt and teachers. Yet, the world was unforgiving. I soon realized that the majority of male hunters remained stuck at D class, while only a few ascended to C class. The chances of awakening my abilities felt increasingly slim. At Chungwon, the gender ratio was shockingly skewed, 1 male to nearly 1,000 females. I became the target of relentless harassment. It was overwhelming. What began as innocent teasing quickly escalated into unwelcome advances. "Hey, don't bully Taekyung," Kong Hyun would often shout, coming to my defense. Her awakening gave her a newfound strength, yet I felt diminished in comparison. Though I appreciated her protection, the constant attention from other girls was exhausting. In my heart, I cherished Hyun. She was my childhood friend and the only one who believed in my potential. But as I eavesdropped on her conversations with classmates, my confidence crumbled. "Do you really think Taekyung will awaken as a hunter?" one girl scoffed. "He's just a foolish boy, head-butting a rock," another added dismissively. Hyun's voice trembled as she replied, "I'm not with him out of pity. I just don't want him to give up." I stood frozen, the words striking deep. Despite her insistence, I could feel her sympathy bleeding through. I longed for her to see me as more than just a friend, someone worth believing in. The distance between us widened, yet my feelings for her only intensified. In a world that seemed increasingly daunting, I resolved to change my fate, to awaken not only as a hunter, but as someone who could stand beside Hyun as an equal. With renewed determination, I stepped out into the world, ready to carve my path as a hunter and to protect those I held dear, no matter the cost. In the quiet solitude of my room, my mind raced with thoughts of pride and regret. The weight of my decision pressed down on me as I recalled the moment I had torn up the documents meant for my transfer to another high school. With a swift motion, I had tossed the remnants into the bathroom trash can, a silent proclamation of my defiance. I had left the school gate without a word to Hyun, the girl who had become my light in an otherwise shadowed life. Taekyung's hope for the future is to be a hunter? Really? Yes. It's going to be hard, but somehow, I'll become a hunter and ensure that people like my parents don't have to suffer again. Then, are you going to Chungwon Middle School, which is nearby? Yes. Fortunately, they say they accept even aspiring male hunters as long as they get good grades. I'll get in and find a way to awaken somehow. Hyun's determination mirrored my own. We would become partners, tackling gates and clearing dungeons together. I believed in my future, fueled by the dream of awakening my abilities. Yet, even back then, I felt a gnawing doubt. What if I couldn't awaken? What if I chose this path only to watch her leave me behind? But I pushed those thoughts aside, choosing to chase my dreams, no matter the cost. Despite the warnings from my homeroom teacher and the concerns of friends, I enrolled in Chungwon Hunter Training High School. The name itself resonated with prestige, boasting a high awakening rate among graduates. It was here, I thought, that I could finally find my place. One fateful day, while scrolling aimlessly on my smartphone, a strange notification caught my eye. The awakening conditions have been confirmed. Object. Song Taekyung has been appointed as the hunter's sexual desire manager. I blinked, trying to comprehend the absurdity of the words. Hunter? Awakening. I had chased this dream for years, only to find myself appointed to such a bizarre role. With a mix of confusion and intrigue, I clicked through the notifications, reading about my new purpose, to relieve the sexual desires of hunters in exchange for awakening points. My heart raced. This could be my chance. I could finally awaken my abilities, but at what cost? I learned that nearby hunters had points associated with them, with one particularly enticing heart symbol on the screen indicating 80 points. This could be the opportunity one had long awaited. Just then, a familiar voice echoed from downstairs. Taekyung, I'm here. I froze. It was Kong Hyun. The realization hit me like a jolt. She was the hunter with the 80 points. Could this be the moment that would change everything? With newfound urgency, I hurried downstairs, my heart pounding in my chest. I could not let this opportunity slip away.
It was the same Kong Hyun I had always known, a gentle presence in my life. But now, hovering next to her was a peculiar display. The words estimated acquisition points. 80 floated beside her, a strange echo of my newfound abilities. These days, my mom and I are worried about you, Taekyung. I know it's tough without your hunter awakening, but you shouldn't shut yourself in like this forever. You'll bounce back. I believe in you, she said, her voice carrying a warmth that hinted at her deeper feelings for me. I watched her as she organized groceries, an image of effortless grace, yet behind that, there was a tender affection lingering. It was the kind of bond we shared from childhood, one that had always been more than mere friendship. As she spoke, I was struck by the realization that this moment might be fleeting. Aren't I intruding? I can leave if it's too much, she offered, her eyes glancing around my room. No, I couldn't let her slip away just yet. An opportunity like this might not come again. Sending her off would mean wasting the potential for something more, a chance to explore what lay beneath the surface of our friendship. I hesitated, the words weighing heavily on my tongue. Hyun, I started, feeling the gravity of the moment. What if you stayed for dinner? We could catch up, just the two of us? Her expression shifted, a hint of surprise dancing in her eyes. Dinner? At your place. The invitation hung in the air, thick with unspoken implications. I knew this could be the moment to bridge the gap between us, to awaken something dormant. Yes, I urged softly, trying to mask the urgency beneath my calm demeanor. I think it would be nice. Her cheeks flushed a delicate hue as she considered my suggestion. The atmosphere crackled with possibilities, and I couldn't help but wonder if this night might lead to the fulfillment of uncharted desires, both hers and mine.